Hi everyone, it's Carolyn, here to share another channeled message from the Light Keepers, a group of angelic beings I channel for your awakening and ascension journey support. So today they came through with a fall equinox channel for you, and they're really talking about the next 3 months until we get to the new year of 2021. So the channel today talks about that same metaphor of the roller coaster, and it just kind of takes us further down the roller coaster. So I'm going to read that channel, and then I'm going to give you some additional information that they brought through to me this morning for your journey forward for the rest of the year as we enter into these really interesting, okay, they just said, okay, I don't take it this way, but they said end times, but they mean for this year, okay, because it's as though we are wrapping things up, and we'll talk more about that after the channel. So I'm Carolyn, I'm a channel, I'm a distance energy healer, and I'm a spiritual awakening mentor, and I offer these channels for your awakening and ascension journey support. So I hope you enjoy this today, and like I always say, take a little something away, a piece of the puzzle for the full puzzle of your own life journey. So thank you so much for joining me today. And if you look below in the description box, you're going to see a link that takes you to a video on how to create flow in your body for health and wellness. But what it does is it then sends you into a couple more videos, but you'll also get a channel from the Light Keepers every week. So join me in my email list. Anyway, so we're going to get started on the channel. I'm going to read this to you, and then I'm just going to give you a couple thoughts on some additional things that came through today. All right, here we go. You will come to a place in your day whereas the year winds down, you find darker skies come for many of you across the worldwide stage. With the change of seasons you find, as the light shines less for some, others have more of it too. However, the winding down of this time comes to you all, we say. Grace is brought from you on high, blessed events, although they do not seem to be from the eye of the human in time. Know that as you come this way through the winding path of the woods in your way, not knowing what you will find around the next corner in time. This is the way it will be, we say, as you take a hold of each day, finding that in your time you will wonder where you're going and why as this year winds down. Blessed events, for it is upside down in time. Shaken awake, we do find you have been over the years. And now you see things differently, too, than the majority of those who are around you. Again, we find that you are here to be the stanchion, the one who stands deep and clear. Even though you are in the human game, understand you are the one to keep others tame, and yet all around you swirls. But the difference of these last few months in the year in your way, of sacred space to open up the gateway, is to a new time. For yes, you will see that years come and years go, for events are lined up for humans, and so, in the sense of time, for you do use it in your way. Not linear, it is true, for that is the grand design in the human way. Unfolding more that you will see in time that will shock and, yes, open many eyes. Upside down it is, we say. Down the roller coaster you come, around the curve in your day, going into the darker times. And so then I say, okay, so I'm seeing this is still the roller coaster metaphor, and now you're taking me further, coming through that curve that we saw last time. But we're going into a tunnel. It's a dark tunnel. And they say, yes, we say these are the darkened times. And I say, what do you mean by darkened times? And they say, darkened times where all unwinds, understanding further which way to go. Many will too open up their eyes as the earth continues her great change, as you have seen the past months too, particularly the one you just left. Earth opens up to a greater healing in her day, for as the earth heals, you do too. The energy of it breaks open, and you find that you are brought into a new place. The energies are so ripe in time. And then I say, because I'm seeing as they're talking, okay, so now you're showing me the collective is going down the roller coaster through a dark tunnel, but you are showing those of us who are awakening, we are following the roller coaster. And it's like we are coming over across the tunnel while the others are going through the tunnel, but we are still with them. And then they say, yes, we say, you are understanding it right in your way. For these are times that we mentioned before with this swirl around you. And yes, at times they knock on your door. And then, yet, as you enter the times that are coming in your way, beauty and grace are still possible for you. For many of you find beauty of this year in a time when most will wonder, how did 2020 ever come in their way? For you are graced with love beyond all time and events that happen that come out of great tragedy for you and others, we say too. And how you could ever imagine that these things could happen to you in your day during the year that many find most difficult in their lifetime. But it is not. And we wish you to understand in your day that you float above most of this too. And sometimes you step your toe in it and then try to drown yourself too. But pull yourself out, oh, we find of these events. For much of this is mindset of how you see things. For you are manifesting greater now in the end times of this year, we find. And then I got super chills. And when I get chills, it's a confirmation of what they just said. And then they continue and say, know this and see this and understand too. More of what you bring into your vortex will become for you as you wish for things, we say, and understand that you are of higher vibration, for you are taking greater light in today. You are helping the collective come to a higher place of understanding in time. But you will see factions further, we say. They will grow greater, a chasm in your day. But when you hold your light, we find you rise above the tide. But closing out the year, it is true, more will happen in many ways to the collective too. But the beauty comes in stages. You will see it even in your own life, in small ways, and sometimes in earth-shattering ways. For out of destruction comes growth too. Often great beauty is found also. So hold on for the ride of your life, continuing down the roller coaster of all time, floating above it most times. You watch the collective and go with them in your day, feeling and understanding how you can bring light greater into yourself as the energies are ripe for even greater manifestation. But understand it is a gentle way, not forced or heavy, or letting human emotion rule over you, for that will take you down the drain, we say, and sit you right in the car, the roller coaster, through the dark tunnel in your way. Set fear aside and understand, too, the more you do for self-care will help you. Meditation, oh yes, every day we find. We have always recommended this in every time. Taking care of yourself, work on your own situations that you have brought forth in this great awakening, for this is the time to continue self-care. Don't fall into ways of fear and trepidation and infighting, or stepping your toe in, as we have always said to, a conspiracy theory. For yes, some of it is real and true, but you do not live there. You see it, and then you drift away. The light of all time you are. The great light workers who have come to take this energy out of the fall equinox in your way and use it for the rest of the year to come charging through into the new year. For the energies of the new year from the darkened times that most humans think will be very different in your way. You are sensitive now, and you will feel them. You will know that even though we say much will seem unchanged, it is very different as you move into the new year, for things continue to unwind, but in a different way. We say we will leave that information for another day. But in the meantime, understand where you are at with these energies coming into unwind. Down the roller coaster and through the dark tunnel we come. Some will not see the light of day in their way, for fear only rules their day and division in their way. But when you, the light worker, keep brightness of all humankind in the forefront of your eyes and great love of life of humankind in your way, centering yourself, you will see that the great beauty enters you in ways that you never imagined, for you are here to save humankind. Not in ways you thought heretofore, as humans typically do, thinking their human vessel is what they do and more. But you are so much more than you know deep inside, the beautiful soul, the soul of you that holds the light all around you, affecting in time. And now you let it go, we say, and you know who you are, and you understand this process better in your day, having come through 2020. Your growth has been extraordinary, taking you to a new plane of dimensional living, we find. But you still move into those of the collective time, what many call the 3D way of living too. But you transcend every single day. For this is your role. This is how the human who awakens saves humankind in their day. Taking in the light and then acting in a way that transcends what is going on in the collective in time. Holding yourself fast, we say, seeing all around to the swirl in your day. Take our words of what we have given you too in the past, and you will understand how true this is for your journey forward. For you are the light workers of all time. So, wow, I didn't really realize how powerful that was. That's the first time I've really read it through. So they continue the theme of the roller coaster. They've used this, I think, since, I want to say, late spring. And we've just continued with that metaphor, and we keep moving through that roller coaster. But again, they're very much emphasizing, we're in a different place now. That dark tunnel, we can look at that as angst and suffering and pain. And yes, on the human level, there's still going to be things that are going to very much look like that. I mean, look what's happened in September. We've had the fires, we've had the flood, the hurricanes. It goes on and on, right? Those things are going to continue. Earth is continuing to clear and cleanse. And with that, we shift and change too. So we're being engulfed in those energies as well. And we're coming along for the ride. No wonder they used a roller coaster, right? So as the rest of the collective moves through this dark tunnel, we're still here, all right? But there's something about us transcending this in the way we live our day to day, the way that we look at these events, the way we actually encounter these events as well. Very similar to what they said last time, but now we're coming into the end of the year with, there's a lot that's going to shift and change. We have so much occurring now. Okay, so now what they're showing me, okay, so they're giving me the show Stranger Things. So the upside down, that's where the metaphor for the upside down came. Okay, so this is kind of funny, and I'm just take off here on a second. On a side note, as you know, in the awakening journey, we have things come into our awareness, and all of a sudden we're doing them, and we're like, why did we do that? Why was that brought my way? Well, Stranger Things, as a show, showed up one day, and I never had any interest in that. Oh no, I watched the whole thing. Like, I was obsessed with it. I had to know that, because there are things in Stranger Things, believe it or not, the upside down, that is very similar to what's happening now. So what we have to understand is what we see is not what is. In the human form, sure, it may be, but it's not. When we look at it from a higher soul perspective, the upside down is what's needed in order to break down all of our constructs, to continue to rebuild in the way that we will for this new earth, in essence, that we're building here. Again, like I said, we don't shift off and move to a new planet and just shows up and, getting out of one car into another. We're rebuilding it in what we do each day and taking in those energies. So for us, one of the things they brought through this morning that they didn't really hit on here, but they wanted to keep talking, I could tell, is they said to me, wrap it up. And I said, what? They said, wrap it up this year. These last 3 months, wrap it up. Now, don't freak out about having to do things. What they're saying is really work on the things that you have in front of you that have been brought to you for clearing. And you all understand mostly clearing, the things that show up from past lives and that you may not even understand, the emotions, all of this, the stuff that's in your face. And it's in your face in many ways, whether you get like a reading and you find out more about yourself and your past lives, or you have synchronicities show up, you have events in your life, people showing back up in your life, clearing those things out. You have been through this awakening journey long enough to start to kind of understand how those things show up for you. And everybody's a little different, but there is a common method of how these things show up. Like I said, the synchronicity, people coming back into your life, clearing out stuff, lots of emotion, lots of painful suffering sometimes in your body. So these are things that's like, wrap it up, like do the work, okay? Because honestly, we can turn a blind eye to the work that we have to do, because this is about deep digging down into us. 2020 has opened up a gateway for us to be able to more clearly see these things, feel these things. And a lot of you have felt great emotion, a lot of suffering, a lot of joy too at the same time. So as we continue to do our work and not turn a blind eye, I mean, yes, we're awakening and yes, we're light workers, but you still have a choice. You can get stuck in 3D and you can go the other way. Now, I firmly believe your spirit team is going to try to save you from yourself, but it will be so much more difficult. Per the channel that just was done the other day about flowing down the stream and the milestones we meet, all right? However, doing the work, wrapping these things up. You all know what we're talking about here. I know that deep in your soul, the things that you're working on, like kind of get ready for the new year, right? What do you want to present to the new year so that you can continue to be even more the light worker of all time? Because we are here to save humankind, but it's in a very different way than we might suspect, with like a lot of human action. A lot of it has to do with self-care and work so that we can carry more light and that we can continue to share that light, that energy, because everything's energetics, share our energy with others as we encounter them in whatever way that means for you, but continuing the work within yourself. You will be guided, you will be shown the way, and you will follow the collective, but you will be, as they say, overarching all, weaving in and out of some of the things that are happening, but an observer to a lot of things. And that's key, is not to get stuck in the muck. So we're going to continue along the themes of things happening across the course of this year. They didn't really talk about next year, although I'm very much feeling, a very different energy. But understand, we're in the upside down. If you want to, oh God, I really have chills. Whoa, I just got super chills. We're in the upside down. Okay. Just know that, step back and be the observer. So that's what I have for you today. I hope this helps you in the next 3 months in your journey. And again, hopefully something resonates with you and you can take it as a piece of the puzzle for your full life journey. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to check out purplerainhealing.com, where all of my services are listed of distance energy healing, channeling, and spiritual awakening mentoring. And don't forget, Celeste and I do these amazing 50-minute soul journey channels for you. It really takes you from the inception of your soul self and moves you through to present day, brings you in past lives, brings you in star family, brings you in a lot of situations that you had going in your life and helps you understand them. And then we answer your questions. So you get an audio recording of about 50 minutes of channeled information from us, and I think you will really benefit from it. They have been very well received. But anyway, check out my services, purplerainhealing.com. And again, thank you so much for joining me.